It's Friday, June 26th. A desperate search. Rescuers in Venezuela working to find survivors after devastating back-to-back earthquakes. The death toll stands at 235 people. At least 4,300 people are injured.
If these were 300 non-Indigenous people, would it ever gotten to this state? I guarantee you it wouldn't have.
State of crisis. People in Leaf Rapids, Manitoba are asking for help from the province and the federal government as the community faces an uptick in crime and a lack of access to basic necessities.
We would like 24 Sussex to stay as the Prime Minister's residence. We would like it restored.
24 Sussex is the official Prime Minister's residence. However, no Prime Minister has lived there for more than a decade. We're going to learn more about its future at a press conference later today.
Mabrey, it's a teapot! Oh, could be one of those nights!
Marina Mabrey put on a scoring clinic on a record night for her and the Tempo. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada, and welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. On this Friday morning, I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And Kelsey is with us, but she, once again, is out at Toronto Stadium getting ready to set up game day. Kelsey, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, you guys, good morning. Yeah, we're down at Toronto Stadium. I will say it is a very humid morning here in Toronto. Relative humidity is sitting at 91%. So keep that in mind this morning. It does mean it's a little cool, 16 degrees right now with that dew point sitting at about 14.5 degrees Celsius. Why does that matter? Because if you are coming down to Toronto Stadium later on today for the Senegal-Iraq game at 3 p.m., you are going to be dealing with a humidex. It's going to be hot and steamy down here, Anne-Marie and Lindsey, for the game later on today. Coming up through the show, we're going to preview the game, give you little tidbits that you can watch for, whether you are in stadium or you're watching from the comfort of your home. We've got another big game in Canada in Vancouver later on tonight. So of all the details coming up here as we continue our World Cup coverage. For now, I'll send it back to Lindsey, who is today's top stories.
All right, Kels, thank you. Rescuers in and around Caracas are working frantically right now to find survivors after those two powerful earthquakes struck near the Venezuelan capital on Wednesday. At least 235 people are dead. At least 4,300 people are injured. Obviously, there are fears that those numbers could rise. The first earthquake was a 7.2, and it struck at around 6 p.m. Wednesday. That was quickly followed by a 7.5 magnitude earthquake that happened 39 seconds later. Both happened close to the Earth's surface, making destruction more severe. President Delcy Rodriguez has declared a state of emergency and appointed a general to oversee the response.
We're working with our partners directly, and we will scale things as appropriate to move forward.
Canada is providing $5 million in humanitarian assistance to support relief efforts in Venezuela. Global Affairs also says it's not aware of any Canadian citizens affected by the earthquakes, but it does add there are currently 740 Canadians registered as being in Venezuela. Canada does not have an embassy in the country, which could make it more challenging to assist Canadians. So opinions are divided on 24 Sussex Drive ahead of an announcement about its future today.
Keep the historic house, 24 Sussex, because it was a place where many important things happened.
Perhaps it's better to take it down and rebuild.
So we will learn more about plans for the official residence when Prime Minister Mark Carney holds a news conference today. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau chose to live at Rideau Cottage when he came into office in 2015. That's also where Prime Minister Carney and his family live right now. Problems with 24 Sussex include rodents, old heating and electrical systems, asbestos as well. The NCC says it would cost about $36.6 million to restore it. Officials in Northwest Territories say 3 people are dead after a plane crashed fighting wildfires. The Bird Dog aircraft went down near Fort Simpson, west of Yellowknife on Wednesday night. Fire officials say they've been to the crash site to confirm the deaths. There are no survivors. They're now working to recover the bodies. People in Leaf Rapids, Manitoba say they're living in a state of crisis for several reasons: crime, a boil water advisory, and a lack of resources.
We have absolutely nobody advocating for us.
About 250 people live there. They've written to the province and the federal government pleading for immediate help. In recent weeks, they've dealt with a rise in theft, multiple firearms incidents, and an investigation into the suspicious death of a 21-year-old man. The health center is only open during select hours. The grocery store has limited food. It may have to shut down. They've also been without a town council since 2019. That's when the province dissolved the mayor and council and assumed administrative control. Some people living there argue the conditions they're forced to deal with are a reflection of systemic racism. Manitoba's government says they will continue to support Leaf Rapids and work toward finding solutions. A community came together to remember the victims of Monday's deadly shooting in Montreal.
We felt like we had to come and give our support.
It's really emotional. I have goosebumps. You know, I'm one of the people who did not know these victims personally, but there are so many of us that came here today.
The two people killed in the shooting were bystander Michael Mizrahi and Montreal Police Constable Mohamed Lamine Benredouin. The suspect in the shooting also died. He's been named as Seth Scott Hatfield. The RCMP has opened a national security investigation into possible ideologically motivated extremism. This is a separate investigation from the one involving Montreal and Lethbridge police. Hatfield left behind a manifesto expressing calls for violence and a hatred toward women. A fireworks show on Montreal's West Island ended with a fire breaking out on a barge that was offshore of Pointe Claire.
Obviously, there was nothing you could do. The fire department and the services had no access to the boat. It was in the middle of the lake, and there was no danger. So they came to the conclusion, just let it burn. And that's what they did. They let it burn.
So the fire broke out at about 10:30 at night. This was on St. Jean-Baptiste Day. The show was run by remote control. Nobody was on the barge at the time. The city had actually initially switched fireworks show from the shoreline to a barge for safety reasons. A similar show is scheduled for Canada Day. It will go ahead with safety measures in place. The company running the shows has ensured it will go ahead smoothly.